Hi there, and welcome back. So, this is part two of fear. Hopefully, you had made your list, and hopefully, you've had this week to really kind of think about fear and the role that it's playing in your life. So, we're going to continue on like we have been. There's a phrase that we all know: the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And that was said by Franklin D. Roosevelt during his first inaugural address. Now, there are many versions of this saying. These sayings, they stick around, because of the truth that they hold. The thing about words is the way that they are read and interpreted by the reader. They have different meanings to different people, and they also have different meanings to you at different points and times in your life. Have you ever reread something that you've read in the past and found that the meaning of it has changed the second time around? If so, that's good. It shows that you have had changes in your thoughts and your perceptions of your life. Without knowing this, you have already proven that you can change and that you have changed. And that's what is really important to be able to know, that you have changed, because this is what's going to be required of you as we go through all of these things for you to be able to make these shifts and changes. And it's good if you can actually see times that you have actually made changes, whether you realized it or not. By reading something over again that you had read in the past, but now you see it completely different, that shows that you've grown. And it also shows your willingness to be able to accept new things into your life and to be able to make changes. Think about your life and what you have changed. Fear is not what you think it is. Since the beginning of our lives, we have been taught a set of limiting beliefs and conditioned behaviors. These are the core of what stops us. They shape us and mold us into the lives we live. Remember that you are only a reflection of what you were yesterday. We use the thoughts of fear to help hold us to these beliefs and these behaviors. Keep that in mind. Hopefully you had made that list. And when you look back over that list, I want you to go back over just this phrase here and look at that list again and think about this. That you are using fear to be able to hold you into these irrational thoughts and these conditioned behaviors. This is why we use fear to be able to make our decisions. This is what's controlling your actions in life, which is translated into the way that your perception is about who you are, what you are, and where you are. Think about all that. You are allowing fear to make every decision for you in your life. Whether you've realized it or not, this is 100% true. Every decision you make is based upon a fear. Whatever that fear may be. Sometimes you don't do certain things because you're afraid to do them. You don't say certain things because you're afraid to do it. You don't approach certain people because you're afraid of what they might say. They may reject you. Every decision that you are making is all based back in fear. Fear is the root system of everything. Remember, it is the roots of the tree that everything else is hanging from. It's the bottom thing. It's what's making that tree grow. And it's what is not producing viable fruit in your life. And what we need to be able to do is to take care of that root system. Nurture it and understand why it's there. Why it's there to hold up that tree. It's not to stop you. It's to move you. It's to make you make better decisions. These anchors are irrational and they need to be cut. Throw them overboard and free yourself from the fears in your life. And do this one at a time. So your ship will be able to sail from its current location. It will rise in the waters to glide against the surface at an easier pace and less resistance. This is the goal of every captain: strong sail winds and calm waters. Fear is the storm that wrecks and beats against the bows of the ship, pouring water on board and trying to wash away anything that you have. And at times we let fear be the defining emotion in our lives. The reason why your ship isn't where you want it to be, where your life isn't where you want it to be, is because you keep allowing this fear to control you. Fear is a tool, and it is a tool to move you. And that's what you got to keep saying to yourself every time it happens. Every time it comes back up, you need to start asking yourself certain questions. What is the worst that can happen? What is the best that can happen? Why am I allowing this to control me? What is it about this that is stopping me? Find out, because you got to get down to the roots of everything. Fear is there to protect you from dying. It is about what is going to happen next. When you are in a dangerous situation, it heightens your senses and gets your mind and body ready for action. See, it gets you where you need to be, ready for action to save your life or the lives of others. And stop and think about this. If fear can put you into action, how do you let it stop you at other times in your life? Sometimes it is a thought about where you want to be, whether that is a place, an event, or just having success in your life. These thoughts about a change have activated the feeling of fear inside you. They have tricked you into wanting to hide and have convinced you that it isn't good for you. As we've talked about before, in some of these conditioned behaviors that we exhibit, somewhere somebody sold you something. And that something they sold you is that you weren't smart enough, you weren't strong enough, you weren't good enough. And with those thoughts, you allowed the fear to come in and be the controller, to be the deciding factor in every decision. And this is things that need to be changed. You are good enough. You've always been good enough, if not better. Have you ever been afraid and went ahead anyway? Did you still do what you wanted to do that you were afraid of? This can be something like meeting someone for the first time or going somewhere you had never been. After you did conquer it and follow through, how did you feel? Did you feel empowered, satisfied, stronger, like nothing can stop you? See what fear can do for you? It is there to help you. It is there to lift you up. It's there to challenge you and reward you for taking that action. It feeds you a new emotional state so that you will take more of these opportunities in your life. It is there to feed you that sweet treat. Smile at fear and know it's not the enemy. It is your best friend. It is really there to make sure that you are present in that moment and not just running on autopilot. Let's stop and think about that for a moment, if you would. There are so many times that we've been in situations like that, to where we have been afraid to go do something or to go somewhere for whatever reason. It might be because you didn't want to do it alone, or you weren't comfortable about going to that particular place or that event. But every time that you have went ahead and went and did it, how did you feel? I can tell you how you felt. I can tell you how I felt. I felt great. And I wondered, what was I so afraid of? See, by not allowing the fear to stop you, it is then rewards you. It gives you that great feeling of the fact that what was I so afraid of? It gives you that heightened sense, and you're just like going, wow, you know? And what it's trying to do there, it's trying to encourage you to do more of that, to take more chances when those challenges are presented. But so many times, because we live our life on autopilot, we will fall right back into that same old program. And when that challenge is presented again, or presented in a different way, we still will allow it to stop us. It's like we keep having to relearn a lesson. Life is about action. Fear is not your enemy. It really is your best friend. It's hard to think of it that way, but that's what I want you to start doing. I want you to start thinking about this every time that you are afraid to go do something, for whatever the reason may be. And sit there and say, I already know how this is going to come out. I know, good or bad, that if I have a good time or not, I'm still going to be happy at the end of this, because I didn't allow fear to stop me. And the next time you have that fear come into your life, don't treat it like your enemy. Treat it like your best friend. Welcome it. Open the door for it and say, let's go. What do you got in store for me today? Rise to that challenge. Be present in that moment. Life is always about these things, and these are the simplest things. As we've said before, life is simple, and the simplest things in life are to understand these basic things. Life is simple, that life is about action, and to always be present in that moment, to never be afraid, and to welcome every new opportunity that is going to be coming your way. So make the shift in how you let fear play its role in your life. Know that it is really there to help you, and let it. It is your body that has released that fear to go against those limiting beliefs and behaviors. Your body has many tools to lift you. Life is about being at a higher vibration. The more you reach and achieve it, the more you bring into your life and into the lives of those around you. It brings you closer to your source, your spirit, closer to God. Now, with that list that I hope that you wrote, I want you, like I said, I want you to go back over and ask yourself those questions again. How did I let those fears stop me? Why did I let it stop me? What was I so afraid of? What was the worst thing that could have happened? And what was the best thing that could happen? This kind of reflection will help you understand and make better choices when the feelings of fear present itself again. And once you've answered those questions and you've had that time to reflect upon those, feel the power in you and the strength that your thoughts have provided to you. This can happen every time you don't let fear stop you. It is there to lift you, and let it. Embrace your fears and put them in action. Let your fears burn, lighting up inside you the fire that shines out for the world to see. Take the action and the steps that life wants you to make. So my challenge for you for this next week is to not only go back over those questions and the new questions that I presented here, but I want you to take time and reflect. Reflect back on your life and reflect on all of the times that fear has had such a role in your life. And I challenge you to start changing the language that you use when fear comes up. And so, until next time, take care.